long time no see. Here's the third instrument, piano. My personal favorite, and the one that I have struggled with for years, but I've gotten pretty decent. So my tricks for piano. Piano's a bit trickier in that there's a lot you can do. If you just want to play chords, I'm going to say the same thing from the last couple videos, which is that you're going to want to just print out a chord sheet that you can have in reference, and then you could look up songs on Ultimate Guitar and say, oh, this song is, again, A minor, C, G. And you could look up the chords for that and go, lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side, I wanna be your left hand man. Even though it kind of sounds weird on piano, so. Riptide doesn't exactly work on piano. It works for ukulele and guitar. Not so good here. Let's see. So print out a chord sheet. You can do things off of Ultimate Guitar. The one that I think I do the most is probably the Hello song by Adele. From the other side, at least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. So that's a really easy way to play piano, or seem like you know how to play piano. It's literally playing chords over and over and over again. Piano's a bit harder in that you really do have to learn to read sheet music. There are simpler ways. They have these really cool little, what would you call it? Synthesia, something like that, for piano, where you can watch a YouTube video and play along, and they also have apps that are pretty similar in that, and they'll teach you how to read music too. Those cost money. I, being a cheap college student, don't want to pay money. You have some videos on YouTube that you can follow. One of them that I learned one of my favorite songs off of is Doctor Who song, which is like... Anyways, so that's a bit that I had learned from a piano thing on YouTube, Synthesia, and they have a bunch of videos that you can literally just follow the keys. Those are hard because they don't really teach you anything other than muscle memory and where to put your hands. Let me teach you something about the keys. So, if you're looking at a piano, you're going to notice that there's a pattern of 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys. The 2 black keys right before that is C. And then it's going to work its way up all the way to the next C. So it's going to go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then it just repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. All the way up and all the way down. Except down, it's going to go backwards. So then it's going to go C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. So you do have to figure that out as well. But just remember, 2 keys to the left, C, and then alphabet. The black keys are sharps and flats. Sharps and flats give me a headache because sharps and flats are the same in ways. So an A flat is also a G sharp. This gets confusing. I would recommend looking up another video for this and not mine. Maybe I'll link something down below. For learning sheet music, I do have a couple hints, I guess, hints and tips. And then I'll, of course, link stuff down below. So I would recommend getting a book. This is a very fancy book that I use that's really old. It was my dad's, and the back is missing, but it's got a lot of piano classics in here. I would recommend getting a beginner's book. They usually have some really simple ones that you can get in the store, like really basic things. So to learn the sheet music's gonna be the first thing that you're gonna learn. So the lines are, every good boy does fine, and the spaces spells face. For bass clef, I know it goes all cows eat grass. I don't remember what the lines are. I'll put the hint somewhere on the page because I don't remember what it is. You're gonna wanna get that down. My teacher, when I had about 2 or 3 months of the small amount of piano lessons that I had, she gave me flashcards and had the lines and then what it was on the back. It had a treble clef or a bass clef, and I'd have to try to see how fast I can get it if you want to use that tip. I got pretty close to getting further with bass clef. From the instrument that I have the most experience with, which is trumpet, I already knew treble clef pretty well because I had to learn it, and if you know treble clef, bass clef is like treble clef just slightly altered, and so if you think about it like that, that's kind of helpful, but for me that starts to get more confusing. Me being the terrible pianist that I am, usually when I play a song, I can read treble clef, but I write in the notes for bass clef, which you can do that at the beginning if you want. I used to write it in for all of it, for bass clef and treble clef. When you're learning a song on piano for the first time that's not just chords, what I would suggest is always learn the right hand first and then incorporate the left hand. Or if you refuse to do that like I do, which don't do that, it makes your life harder, you can work in pieces, which is what I do. So I'll learn just the first couple lines of music and I'll learn the two hands together. So like, that's the left hand. And that would be the first part that I would do. And I would make sure I could do that right and be like, and then maybe I could do that. Maybe I couldn't even do all that. Maybe it'd just be, and that would be it. And then piece by piece. Or you can be smart and not do that, and you could do it in pieces and go right hand first. And then you could do the left hand. Right. Okay. Something like that. I can't think about this song in two hands because I haven't done it in so long, and I don't have the sheet music in front of me. Make sure you have the sheet music in front of you. And you know, you're gonna play your song and go. Also, when you're learning a song for the first time, I would suggest doing something that the left hand repeats a lot, or that the left hand does chords. Also, the easiest song ever to learn on piano, at least for me, is Joy to the World. It's literally a C chord, and it goes down. For the beginning bit. It's so easy. But then it gets a little bit more complicated. Something like that. I don't remember. I haven't played it in a long time. But basically, find a song where you can play chords on your left hand, or do something simple that repeats. So an easy song that would have repetitive notes for the left hand would be, so C, G, C, right hand, C, G, C again, A, E, A, again the left hand repeated twice, and then F, C, F. Same thing happened. It happened twice, and the right hand played, and then the last one, G, D, G. So yeah, definitely try to learn the right hand, left hand separate. Learn your notes, be able to spit them out as quick as you can. That'll be helpful for sight reading, which I have always been terrible at. But, you know, you get better. I'm not as awful as I used to be. Watch other videos. There's so many videos on YouTube. Unfortunately, my piano one's not going to be the best. My biggest advice here is just practice, 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 and you will get there. There's so many different apps and things, and you don't have to tune a piano like the other instruments. That's an easy thing. As you can tell, this is not my instrument that I'm very good at teaching, just because there is so much that goes into piano playing. It's massive, and part of that I think comes in the fact that you can do so much with piano, especially since there's a bass clef and a treble clef. It's also my favorite instrument for that reason though, even though it's so complicated. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Alright, have a great day and good luck in all your music endeavors. Bye!